Dickie, we think we have a real great show planned for you tonight, and so
And
it's
I
a little
wanna
different type of a show.
Dickie, I want to say something. I am really excited. I want to say it
I
to
think it's
you,
a great show.
to the audience. No, I'm more excited about something because Richard Nixon is our new president, and I am excited. He is the hippest. Nobody knows this, but this man, the next 4 years here in America are going to be the wildest, best, most fun years because Richard Nixon's the hippest man that's ever been elected the president. Oh, he's out of sight, man.
I've seen him on television.
Nobody
I never
even
noticed he was struck.
People, I know a lot of you out there watching the show that you not even aware, and people here in the audience aren't aware of the great hip, fun, aggressive, wild, freaky guy that Richard Nixon is.
I'm glad you're excited about Richard Nixon being the new president because you've got to approach a new term of office backing him like this. But I don't know where you get that he's so hip. I don't understand.
These next 4 years are going to be the most out-of-sight
years
for the younger generation and for everybody in America.
Fine, I'm glad you feel that.
See, part of the thing is that people didn't realize if you look back on Richard Nixon's history, when he was vice president before and during these times, it's out of sight, man. It's going to blow America's mind. When he gets into office and starts swinging, wow.
Yeah, great. I don't understand why you... What history, past history?
Well, think back. Did you remember when he was vice president? Every single country he ever went to, he got stoned.
It's the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour with guest stars, the Smothers Brothers writing staff, featuring Mason Williams and John Hartford, Murray Roman, Carl Gottlieb, and Bob Einstein, Steve Martin and Jerry Music, and special guest stars Tom and Dick Smothers, the Jimmy Joy Singers and the Ron Poindexter Dancers, and Nelson Riddle and his orchestra.
Mr. Andrews' car.
To a lot of people, a luxury automobile is very important. They demand exquisite styling, unlimited comfort, and all those extravagant little things not found in the average car.
Mr. Trevor's car.
That's why we built the Volkswagen Fastback. It has wall-to-wall carpeting, an electric dashboard clock, an optional automatic transmission, and not one, but 2 trunks. But even with all this unparalleled luxury, it's still a Volkswagen. Very sturdy, very practical, and very thrifty.
From Television City in Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen, the Smothers Brothers.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We think we have a real great show planned for you tonight. We're going to start off by singing one of the beautiful old American folk ballads, a traditional folk ballad, a folk ballad full of the things that made America great. Strength, fortitude.
Dick, wait a second.
What are you talking about? Tommy, I'm introducing this.
I know you are. Just wait a second. Ladies and gentlemen, we usually open our show, Dickie and I, generally singing some kind of a dumb old folk song and following it up with some kind of stupid jokes. Well, tonight my brother and I have decided to do something different for a change and sing Bach's Choral Mass in B minor for guitar and bass.
That's really great. That's really great, Tommy. Every single week you come out here, interrupt me when I'm introducing the thing we're going to do, and you bring out some stupid subject which it doesn't have anything to do with the show. You know darn well we studied all week and practiced on that great old folk song, Swanee River. And Swanee River has everything in it that makes this country great. And you throw in some stupid thing about Bach. We did not study Bach's Choral Mass and B minor for bass and guitar.
Speak for yourself, grease monkey. All you've been doing is eating fine foods and racing those dumb materialistic race cars.
Oh, yeah? What are you supposed to do with them?
Listen to me, dude. Fascist. Now, I've been, and this is the truth, I've been hidden in a dark corner of the studio spending countless suffering hours reading running through these old manuscripts, learning this beautiful piece.
That's right.
This fantastic piece, Bach's choral
B flat.
in B minor.
B.
And while you sit at the fireplace, hubcap nose, at your home playing with your dumb hubcap. Now, just to show you how hard I have been working, I'm going to perform this beautiful masterpiece of Bach's, and you'll see that I'm no longer the old Tommy Smothers that you always are badgering and trying to mess up. So
yeah.
I'm going to do this beautiful thing.
All right. You do your beautiful thing, Tommy. If you love Bach that much, you sing Bach.
Bach's
Bach's
choral mass in B minor.
B minor for guitar and bass. Are you going to play both guitar and bass?
I will cover for everything.
All right.
Way down upon the Swanee River, far, far away.
It's fantastic. Bach has never sounded that good. I didn't know he knew Swanee River. That's what it is, Swanee River, you stupid. You come out here and make a big thing about singing Bach, something classical. That is not Bach. That's Swanee River.
Shut up, helmet head. Last week,
It's Swanee
listen
River.
to me. Last week, Nelson Riddle
Yes.
gave me a piece of sheet music, and
Right.
on the top of that sheet music was written Swanee River.
Right.
I took that piece of sheet music with Swanee River, and I asked Nelson Riddle, I said, Nelson, is this Swanee River?
Yes.
And he said, no, stupid. It's Bach's choral mass in B minor for guitar and bass. So why don't you just go rotate your tires, dummy?
All right. I agree with you. Since you work so hard on Bach's choral mass in B minor, and I work so hard on Swanee River, you sing your song, I'll sing mine. We'll sing it together like Sandler and Young, and maybe it might come out and work together, right?
I'm sure it will.
Okay.
Way down upon the Swanee River, far, far away. There's where my heart is turning ever. There's where the old folks stay.
Started to sing was actually the group that just sang with us in Bach's choral mass, and they're our own Jimmy Joyce singers, and we think they're one of the finest choral groups in television today. Their timing isn't so hot, and tonight we'd like to feature this lively and exciting group doing their version of Bach's choral mass in B minor.
Sink this putt, he'll go 3 under.
Oh, no. How can you slice a putt? I should have taken you up on that lunch offer.
You pushed it. All you have to do is hold your head still and follow through like this.
You see?
Yeah, I gotta remember that. I gotta remember not to buy these cigarettes, too.
What's wrong?
They call them menthols, but they just don't have it.
Try one of these.
Cools? Okay, let's see.
Come up to the cool taste. Taste extra coolness every time you smoke.
Now that's better.
Yeah. So's this cool. Now that's the way a menthol ought to taste. Cool.
Come up to the cool taste.
Try Cools, king size or long size. Both have the same taste of extra coolness. Cool Filter Kings, Cool Filter Longs. 2 sizes, 1 taste. The cool taste.
Ladies and gentlemen, our show tonight is very different from what we usually do. We don't have any big names or anything like that on the show this week.
That's right, Tom. Tonight we're using people from our very own writing staff. You see, our writers were not hired for their writing ability only, but also for their performing ability.
We'd like to start off by introducing one of our writers who is one of the great folk poets writing today.
He's the composer of Gentle on My Mind and a lot of the songs that you do see on our show. And you also may have seen him on the Glenn Campbell Summer Brothers Smothers show, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Hartford.
I stumble through a yellow field of dying grass. In front of me, some happy people quickly pass, inhaling deep the air while love goes flying high. While younger hands in distant windows wave goodbye. I forgot to live in oh so many ways. Thought I saw the numbers marked on all the days. I trembled at the warnings of the sad old man. Beware, my son, the earth is coming to an end. But now a breeze of simple truth blows through my hair, striking down the fences in my vacant stare. I'm stretching out my arms to fly, I know I'm free. Find I'm getting younger now, the more I see. I didn't know the world would last this long. I didn't know I'd ever sing this song. I didn't know how right I could be wrong. I didn't know the world would last this long. Words of fear go spinning out across the land. Those who need the guidance, reassuring hand. Someone softly singing now comes walking by. Suddenly they'll find their voice and then they'll cry. I didn't know the world would last this long. I didn't know I'd ever sing this song. I didn't know how right I could be wrong. I didn't know the world would last this long.
Johnny Hartford's one of the writers was on the Glenn Campbell show writing and written on the Smothers show.
Is he going to be on the new Glenn Campbell show?
He's going to be on the new Glenn Campbell
That's
show, too.
beautiful.
We're very proud to have him with us.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, we found our next guest in a most unusual manner.
That's right, because we happened to be walking through the writer area of the show, and there he was sitting at one of our writers' desks. And later we found out that he actually was one of our writers.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and since he hasn't been paid for his work, we thought we'd let him come out and tonight and make a few dollars.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Steve Martin.
Thank you. As Tom and Dick said, I'm Steve Martin, and I'll be out here in a minute. While I'm waiting for me, I'd like to jump right into kind of a Sacco Baffo comedy routine. This has really been a big one for me. It's the one that kind of put me where I am today. I'd like to start right off. This is really a big one. The fabulous glove into dove trick. The napkin trick. Thank you very much. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That'll be coming out on a record pretty soon. If you want. Down to the big one. This is the one I call the candle trick. Use this candle here. Drum roll, please. Probably wondering what this is. This is the Chinese Mystery Pagoda Box of the Dead. That's what it is. Here's an oldie but goodie. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I must insist on your absolute silence during the course of this next trick. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the toilet float trick. The Mystic Oriental lighting, please. Much better. The Mystic Oriental music. Oh, wisdom, virtue, beauty, truth, art, nature, certainty, courage, justice, freedom, God, and immortality. Oh, infinite self of being beyond one's own true pragmatic metaphysics. It's supposed to disappear. Cool it! Return! 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 Return, you fool! It's headed for the John!
Let's meet America's oldest living cornhusker. He's 125.
Only one thing takes more out of hands than husking. Woman's work. Lugging and toting can take the natural oils out of your hands. Make 'em rough and dry. Cornhusker's lotion makes 'em soft again. Works just like the natural oils in your hands. Show 'em your soft hands, Elvira.
Corn Huskers, helping hands for 3 generations.
There's Ellie. Know what people say about her?
She has the freshest mouth in town.
Ellie does have the freshest mouth in town because she chews Dentine. Dentine chewing gum.
Okay, Dentine, do your stop.
The tingle tells you your mouth is fresh, your breath is fresh. You too can have the freshest mouth in town. Dentine chewing gum.
Dentine, that's all it takes.
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone knows what Nelson Riddle is. He's our conductor, our musical director, our arranger, and our band leader. Ladies and gentlemen, Nelson Riddle. But alas, not many people know who he is or why.
Nelson Riddle was born in Hackensack, New Jersey. As a youngster, he studied piano and trombone.
In 1940, he began playing with the big bands, Jerry Wald's orchestra, Charlie Spivak, and Tommy Dorsey.
Then came World War II. Well, after the war, he was a staff arranger for the NBC network.
Nelson's first big break came when he arranged this great hit for the late Nat King Cole.
Mona Lisa, men have named you.
And since that time, Nelson has written and arranged for Frank Sinatra, Judy Garland, Peggy Lee, Dinah Shore, and many others.
He's written the theme for 3 television series, been nominated twice for Academy Awards, and 3 times for an Emmy.
Outside of that, he really hasn't been doing too much.
So, Nelson Riddle, tonight is your night to shine. Ladies and gentlemen, Nelson Riddle and the orchestra.
And better be good.
Right.
Was that your number?
Yeah, that was it, Tom. I arranged it, I conducted it, my band played it.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
as everybody knows, you did, your instruments were piano and trombone.
True.
So why not play a trombone solo so that, you know, it gives more depth to your...
I haven't played trombone 25 years, Tom. I hope you know what you're asking for. On second thought, huh?
No, I have no choice. We're
All
already
right,
into it. Grab your
okay.
trombone. Nelson hasn't played in 25 years. And Nelson, if you have problems getting through the rough spots, I'll help you musically because I brought my harmonica.
Thank God it's Sunday.
That's what we always say. I've got the harmonica. I'm going to help you through the rough spots because I know a lot about jazz and about soul music. Because I've been around it, my mouth has known the music that comes from the soul. So if you have any trouble, I'll jump in. So why don't you hit it, Riddle?
All right, it'll be a great comfort.
Take it. Friends, the magic mouth of Tommy Smothers broke. But instead, I'd like to tell you Nelson, step right over here.
Thank you.
The story of jazz. Right in the background, you hear people playing jazz. Jazz began thousands of years ago on the Dark Continent, where persecuted people cried out in anguish. Yes, you guessed it, folks. Israel. That's right, Nels. Yes, Israel, where the Hebrews sang and danced. The Hebrew jazz lyrics were written down on stones and passed from generation to generation, and from this day on, jazz and stone go together. Jazz floated down the Nile River and out to sea in the classical Greece way. Classical Greece jazz became important later and made famous by our famous Mason Williams, called classical
Grass.
Classical grass. The Greek slaves took the jazz rhythms and they sang them in their ships as they toiled at the great long oars. They sang gay, happy jazz songs as they were being beaten and whipped toward Africa. Now soon the entire Dark Continent was rocking and rolling to the new beat, and jazz was reborn. But meanwhile, gang, meanwhile, in the New World in Hackensack, New Jersey, Nelson Riddle was born with a silver trombone in his mouth. And his mother nursed him, and it was a real problem with a silver trombone. So his mother nursed him and rehearsed him and gave out the news that the Riddles gave birth to the Nelson. So hit it, jazz.
We'll be right back with the Smothers Brothers and Mason Williams, John Hartford, Murray Roman, Carl Gottlieb, Bob Einstein, Steve Martin, Jerry and Myrna Music on the second half of the Smothers Comedy Brothers Hour.
Latest U.S. government figures show Silverthin's lowest in tar and nicotine of all 100s tested, lower than most Kings. Can a cigarette that tastes as good as Silverthin's actually be that low in tar and nicotine? Read the United States government figures. Try Silverthin's now in menthol, too.
You know, the name Williams is a famous one in many different areas of entertainment. There's Ted Williams, the great ex-baseball player for the Boston Red Sox.
That's right. Of course, there's Andy Williams, the great singer.
That's right. And Ralph Williams, a personality who now runs the world's largest parking lot.
Right. He keeps them moving, though. And tonight on our show, we have a Williams. He's a songwriter, poet, comedy writer, and entertainer.
And you'd think with all that talent, he'd be famous, too.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, here's Mason Williams singing a song that he wrote called Cowboy Buckaroo. Mason Williams.
I was raised on matinees on Saturday afternoons, looking up at a Hoppy, Gene and Roy. Oh boy, I grew up thinking best a man can do is be a rootin', tootin', straight shootin' cowboy buckaroo. Spurs a jangling, whoopee-tie-yi-yay, just a wrangling through every single day. You're a little lady, you're a little lady, you're a little lady who and should be a rootin', tootin', straight shootin' cowboy buckaroo. Buckaroo's a cowboy who believes in what is good. Buckaroo wouldn't hurt you if he could. Well, I ain't afraid to say it, 'cause I ain't afraid of you. I'm a rootin', tootin', straight shootin' cowboy buckaroo. My spurs are jangling, whoopee-tie-yi-yay, I just go wrangling through each and every single day. You're a little lady, you're a little lady, you're a little lady who I'm a rootin', tootin', straight shootin' cowboy buckaroo. Should we be the way we are, or be how we could be? Could illusion become reality? Well, I've got to ask the question, 'cause the answer's overdue. Why can't we all ride together and be cowboy buckaroos with our spurs jangling, whoopee-tie-yi-yay? Why, we'll just go wrangling through each and every single day. You're a little lady, you're a little lady, you're a little lady. Why can't we all ride together and be cowboy buckaroo? Why can't we all ride together and be cowboy buckaroo?
gentlemen, now every 2 or 3 years, a person with a combination of a perfect voice, great looks, and incredible talent comes along.
But this is one of those off years. So while we're waiting for that to happen, ladies and gentlemen, here's Murray Roman.
The reason I'm dressed like this is tonight I want to talk to you about what I think is the craziest sport in the world, skiing. Now, you might not think skiing is crazy, but if you've never tried it, the purpose of my dissertation is to tell you to think about it. I never tried it, and 3 weeks ago a friend of mine came to me and he said,
listen, why don't you give it a try? After all, there's a lot of girls up there and it's groovy and you can have a really great time. And so I figured for girls I'll do anything. And I said, okay, I'll go. So the next thing I know, it's a weekend and we're driving in his car 15 hours and we finally get to the ski area about 3 o'clock in the morning and I finally check into a lodge that they have. I fall asleep and 2 hours later, after sleeping 2 hours, there's a pounding at my door. Pow, 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 pow! And a voice yells out, it's my friend. It's a great day today! So I crawl to the window, and I look outside, and it's dark, and it's snowing, and it's 5 below, and there's a dog frozen to a tree. So I said to him, what do you want? He says, time's a-wasting. There's the mountain, boy, and it's covered with powder. You know, I don't know about skiing. I figured the mountain had a rash. I don't know. I said, what do you want? He says, get dressed. He says, come on, let's go. So I get dressed, and I put on long johns, 2 sweaters, my waterproof stretch pants, a parka, mittens, and a hat with a pom-pom. I am now, without doubt, the wide world of sports. I step outside into the brisk morning air, and instantly an icicle appears at my right nostril. Now we go over to get the equipment. You gotta get equipment, see? And we go to this thing they call a chairlift. They don't tell you have to be a skier to get off this thing. I mean, for the money you're spending, you can't just walk off. No, they got a hill at the end. How do I discover this? There's a guy in the chair in front of me, and boom, suddenly he disappears. Now, I know they didn't eat him, right? So I yell from about 40 feet away, you know, because I yell, slow it down. I'm a beginner. Please. They don't slow it down. I come off this thing, I'm trying to, the skis go out right underneath. A guy skis across my hand, a guy puts a pole in my chest, and I'm lying there. I'm really having a fun ski trip. Great vacation. Just then, I'm lying there trying to look like it's a bad accident. My friend discovers me. Oh, there you are, he says. I've been looking all over for you. I've made 30 runs already this morning. I've had 12 bowls of chili. And I said, oh, groovy, would you mind standing over there, man? You don't have to ski. Come on, he says. Let's go over to the beginner's slope and I'll teach you. I said, hey, man, that's not a beginner's slope. That's a beginner's cliff. My first instinct is I'll wait till June, the snow melts, I'll walk across. I push myself off, and I perform a ski maneuver that Jean-Claude Killy never thought of. It's called breaking, falling, smashing, hurting your head, smacking your face up against a tree. Stop! By this time, my watch has stopped. And it's not a Timex. My face is fogged up, and I have 15 pounds of ice in my stretch pants. And because they're waterproof, it doesn't leak out. And I figured out there was only one living creature in that entire ski area having a worse time than me. And it was that dog frozen to that tree.
Murray Roman. Ladies and gentlemen, the next guest on our show isn't a writer, and I know a lot of you are probably thinking, well, this is supposed to be a writer's show. But we're having him on the show tonight because he is the inspiration for much of the material that our writers create. Ladies and gentlemen, the golden throat of my own brother, Little Dickie Smothers.
There's wonder in a waterfall and in a sky of blue. There's wonder in a singing bird, but most wonderful is you. Wonderful child, God made your hands to give and receive His blessings. He made your voice for singing a happy song. God made your feet to walk on a path of rainbows. He made a smile for smiling the whole day long. God gave you eyes, then filled all the world with beauty. Sunshine and trees and stars above. Wonderful child, He made you a gift so special. God gave you a heart to share His love. Child, He made you a gift so special. God gave you a heart to share His
On, so does Dial. A Dial shower has staying power because Dial with AT7 removes the bacteria that cause perspiration odor.
Aren't you glad you used Dial?
Don't you wish everybody did? Ever since the rumor that eggs are getting smaller, the chickens of America have been trying harder to come up with bigger eggs. Some are even cheating. Chickens of America, relax. Your eggs are okay. It's just that Armour bacon shrinks less, and bigger bacon makes eggs look smaller. Armour bacon. You get a little more because it shrinks a little less.
Everybody does it and they do it all the time. If you can't see them do it, you must be blind. Some people dance and some people sing, and that's what's known as doing your thing.
Your thing is the thing, and that's the thing to do. It's the thing that's the thing that typifies you. It's an anything thing, and now's the time to use it. Just reach back and get it and do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it.
Yes, it's time to do it. I mean, time to do your own thing.
That's right. And some of our writers have written some routines that only they could do.
You mean that only they would do?
That's what I meant. Only they could do.
I wouldn't be cut dead doing some of that stuff. For example, here's Mason Williams with a Them poem.
Ladies and gentlemen, This is a thing about people who do their own thing, and the thing they do is suck toads. Now, I don't really know any toad suckers, but it sounds like something that might go on down south on a Saturday night. It will be Saturday night toad suck. Them toad suckers. How about them toad suckers? Ain't they clawed? Sitting there sucking them green toady frogs, sucking them hop toads, sucking them chunkers, sucking them leafy types, sucking them plunkers. Look at them toad suckers, ain't they snappy? Sucking them bog frogs sure makes them happy. Them hugger mugger toad suckers way down south, sticking them sucky toads in they mouth. How to be a toad sucker? No way to duck it. Get yourself a toad, rear it back and suck it.
Anything thing, and now's the time to use it. Just reach back and get it and do it, 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 do it.
Our next two performers have developed a unique approach to music.
That's right, Tommy. Instead of playing instruments, they actually play themselves. Now, here they are now, John Hartford on bass and Carl Gottlieb on bass face. Our next performer thinks he's a man of many talents.
Hopefully this isn't one of them.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the juggling fool, Fun Pack Steve Martin.
All right, first of all, I juggle one. Now two. You're not laughing now. Now three. And the crowd goes wild. And into the first trick, this is a big one, this is the over-the-shoulder trick. Now under the leg. Now bounce it off my foot. Now this is a big one, folks. This is the one that really sends me away talking. This is the one I call the big deal. Never could figure out how to end this thing.
Now here's someone who's gonna do it, and here's a little touch of patriotism for our show.
That's right, performed by Jerry Music, Myrna Music, and a little music, please.
Da dee da 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 da dee dum da dee da 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 dee da dee da 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 da dee dum da dee da da dee da da dee da 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 dee dum ba ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba 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 ba
Ladies and gentlemen, this next piece has been rejected by every guest on our show, right?
Yeah, yes, it has, Dickie Smothers.
We reject it.
Yes, it's a routine which combines all the violence in television into a fun-packed circus act.
That's right. So here they are now, Bob Einstein and Carl Gottlieb as the Payne Brothers.
Just reach back and get it and do it, 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 do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's a number that's been presented for the last 36 shows.
And turned down for the last 36 times.
The director hates it.
The producers hate it. And the writers hate it. But the stars wrote it. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom and Dick Smothers singing.
Soap, 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 soap,
What are you
soap,
doing?
soap.
What are you doing?
Singing about 8 bars.
Our next performers are crazy.
They think that this next act will make them famous, and we don't think it will make it famous.
No, it won't.
Here they are now, Bob Einstein and Murray Roman as a great Bull Vaughn and his manager and assistant, Fred.
I was going to suck a toad, but instead, I will escape from the Chinese finger lock. Oh, I escaped from my bee.
The great Bull Vaughn will turn around and instantly release his imprisoned fingers. As his next trick, the great Bull Vaughn will perform the incredible, inescapable trunk trick. Here's the trunk. I am now going to seal the great Bull Vaughn with one padlock in this inescapable trunk. In this trunk, there is only enough air for 5 seconds of breathing. If the great Bull Vaughn cannot open the trunk in those 5 seconds, he will die.
Wait a minute, Fred. I just want to tell the people I've done this trick so many times. Tonight I'm going to do it handcuffed.
Handcuffed? Oh, God. Handcuffed. If I could get the handcuffs open myself. I can't open
Wait a minute. I can do it.
The Bull
Don't
Vaughn.
take this off my finger. Oh, there we go. Hey, put the handcuffs on.
Good, Bull Vaughn.
You're only 20 minutes late.
There you go.
That's right.
You are now handcuffed. Get into the trunk, Bull Vaughn, and we'll start the countdown. Remember, folks, he only has 5 seconds in which to escape from this inescapable trunk designed by CBS. Get in there. I am now...
This trunk is filled with toads.
Shut up. I'm padlocking the trunk, and I'm going to begin the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now for the escape. Bull Vaughn. Great Bull Vaughn. Great. Ugh. Well, folks, let's hear it for escaping at least out of one handcuff.
That's the thing to do. It's the thing that's the thing that typifies you. It's an anything thing, and now's the time to use it. Just reach back and get it and do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. And that's what's known as doing your thing. Do it!
This is about the headache tablets you and your family take.
Watch. 2 leading extra strength tablets. While this one contains several useful pain relievers, just 2 Anacin give you more of the specific pain reliever doctors recommend most than 4 of the other extra strength tablets. Surprised? Okay, I'll do it again. 2 Anacin give you more of the pain reliever doctors recommend most than 4 of the other extra strength tablets. Of course, 4 of these would be more than you should take, but it would take at least 4 of the other extra strength tablets to give you as much of this pain reliever as in 2 Anacin. Now that you know this, I hope the next time you need a headache tablet, you reach for help, reach for Anacin, and relax.
We'd like to thank our guests for this week, our entire writing staff, and let's all give them a big hand. We think we got the best. Next week, our guests will be Ray Charles and Jackie Mason.
That's right, so tune in. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Children's photographs by Alan Pratt and Tony Esparza. This is Roger Carroll.